Hey guys, Long Haul Larry and Big Blue. Yeah, I'm still here. I got some videos that I'm trying to get out for you guys. I've been messing around with trying to get some stuff done with this multiple camera, trying to get this working. It's just been messing around and things are just not working right. It's really frustrating stuff. But I am here in Remington, Indiana. I am heading up to Oconomowoc for an appointment at 3 something this morning. It's 3:30. And I just got an oil change done. I wonder if this guy's going in here. Going back to the tire guy. I just got an oil change done here. And it took a little longer than I should have, but it was okay. No big deal. But it was kind of a young kid in there. And this younger girl. No, he's not going back there. And I checked in. And they had nobody in there. They were like, yep, pull it in right away. We got you. I'm like, cool. So I came in there and I pulled up. And as I was pulling in there, a pilot tanker truck delivers fuel and stuff. He came pulling in right beside me. And I went walking in. I was the first one in there. She was waiting for me. Filled out the forms, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, he'll direct you in there and stuff. And we'll get started on it. I'm like, okay. So I got in there and I was talking to the guy and everything else, telling him a couple things, you know, I want him to kind of check out and everything. And then she came out and she's like, yeah, we kind of made a mistake here. I guess we're supposed to be doing this pilot truck. They had an appointment and stuff, but I'm not showing an appointment and everything. She goes, so how about if you go over there, talking to the kid. She was like, how about if you go over there and start changing the tires and stuff, and I'll finish up your service here. I'll, put the oil in and all that stuff. And he's like, well, you want me to pull the plug for you? And she's like, yeah, would you? So he pulled the plug in and he went over and started working on that. That guy messed around for an hour and a half trying to get a tire off a rim. I sat in there just watching him and I was just like, yikes, man. And it was a super single. And he was just going nuts on it. He could not get that tire dismounted off that rim. He got one, but he couldn't get another one. And I kind of stood outside and I was standing there and I was kind of watching them and stuff. And I said, hey, those look to be those cheap China tires. I said, they're pretty hard to dismount. And he's like, yeah. And I said, dude, I've done a bunch of them. I said, could I give you some advice? I said, I don't want to upset you or get step on your toes or nothing. He's like, what's up? And I said, do you have a longer tire iron? And I says, put it in there, wedge it up against the wall there, and then stand inside on the rim, and that'll put pressure on it and pop it out. I said, I've done it before. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, then they were talking, and he jumped on my truck and finished my truck up. And I got pulled out of there. And I came walking back in there and stuff. I came walking back in there to wash my hands. And he was still messing with it. And he saw me. He's like, I tried it. I couldn't get it. And I looked around and the manager lady was gone. And I walked up in the shop and I said, dude, grab this here big tire iron. Pry on it. Put all your weight onto it. He did. And I had another smaller tire iron there. And I wedged it into the tire. And I grabbed the sledgehammer he had and whacked on the tire about 3-4 times, and boop, it popped out. And just as it popped out, she came walking out of the office. I looked at her and I put up my hands and dropped the tire on. I said, I didn't do it. And she's like, oh my goodness, you got that tire out? And I'm like, yeah, I've done a bunch of them. And she's like, oh, I thank you so much. We didn't know what we were going to do. And so I helped with that and stuff. And then I went back out and I actually ripped off that Teflon plate. Sucks. I had the trailer too low. I backed underneath it. It's too heavy. It caught it and it tore it in half. It has nothing to do with the Teflon plate. I should have had the air dump on the trailer, on the truck. So I could have dropped it down so it wouldn't have been such an angle. It was completely my fault. I actually have a valve at my house. I ordered it. Me and the boss are talking, and it's at my house. But I tore that in half, so I had to rip the rest of it off. And I went back in there and I asked them if they could grease up my fifth wheel since I had to lose the Teflon plate. And they said, no problem, bring it over here. So I backed it over there. And she greased it all up and everything. And she was all like, oh, if I had any cash, I'd tip you and stuff. And I said, don't worry about it. And I pulled it back out, hooked back up, and then I walked back in to wash my hands again. And as I came walking by, he was over there struggling mounting the tire. And I looked at him, and he kind of looked at me. He was like, oh, I got it. I said, okay. I just got to giggle, laugh, walked away. We all have issues sometimes. That was pretty funny, though. So I got to do a little tire change in there. But we are rolling on up to Oconomowoc and make our way on up there. Morning time, I'm actually going to be taking this truck into another shop. I'm going to be taking it to an alignment shop. And we're going to try to figure out what's going on because these tires that... I got the new tires on there and I put them on the back axle and stuff. We put a good set of used tires on the front axle and they're already starting to wear and cup. So we got a serious alignment issue going on with the axles. So I made an appointment with this company I know is really good for alignments, and I'm actually going to be running up there and taking it in there and turning it to these guys, and they're going to do a whole check on the truck and see what they can find out. So hopefully get this fixed out. So we'll just be rolling on up there. But I am empty here in Oconomowoc. I'm going to be heading up. I'm actually going to be stopping at the house. I'm going to swing by the house. I have a couple things at the house that I've ordered. I'm going to swing by there, stop, pick it up. And then I want to make a metal bracket real quick for my horn. So I can mount my horn up. And I hate that when I shift out of 10th. Getting going on a highway and it go real fast and you shift out of 10th or something to go to the next gear and it's like, there is no more gear, so you have to go back to 10th. But I'm going to swing in the house, just grab a couple things, and then I have to get up to Appleton, Wisconsin, and Big Blue's going in for an alignment today. We're going to see if we can figure out why these tires are cupping like this, see what's happening, axles. Something's not straight, so we're going to do a complete alignment on the truck. So that's what's happening. Somehow I didn't have to pay a lumper there. I don't know what that's about. Well, guys, here we are, Appleton, Wisconsin. We're here at Accurate Alignment. And Big Blue's gonna get pulled in here and we're gonna do some checking on this thing, see if we can figure out what is going on. There we go. I will catch you guys later. Well, guys, we are out of here. Actually been here for quite a while today. They were messing with quite a few different little things. But I will show you a little clip right now. I took it on my phone because I didn't have a camera along my side. I just popped open my phone. He actually asked me if I wanted to come down into the pit and kind of inspect everything with him. And I thought it was pretty cool. It was a machine that they drove the truck up on, and it actually shakes the suspension parts. It shakes the wheels back and forth real violently, and he can sit there and look at all the joints and everything and see if he can find anything moving. It's pretty cool. So there you go. What?
the only thing I'm noticing is that a little bit of a lean up front.
Yeah.
And you have one taller block on the left side than you do on the right.
Really?
And the right side tire on in, I'm going to have a recheck it on the frame, on the alignment rod. When they lift it up, and we'll shake it there. I can't tell if there's a little bit of play in that right side or not. Might not be enough that we need to worry about anything right now. Right!
It's pretty cool, actually.
So it was pretty cool. He did find some things. A couple little things and stuff. The rear end was out a little bit, and he did some things, moving some things around, and got it pretty close in the rear end. It has a slight twist or something like that to the frame of the truck, which he said is completely usual. Trucks, they get twists and bends and stuff in the frames, and he said it isn't bad enough to actually do anything about it. He's, you know, to straighten the frame all out and everything is a lot of money, and they were able to do some blocking, I guess, or something to get it really close, to get it to their tolerances and stuff. The front end, they actually sprung the axle. They there was some axle blocks in there, and he's like, I don't even know why these things are in there. He goes, it actually makes it wrong. It throws it off. And I've always had a problem with steer tire. One steer tire is always cupped out. And I've checked, you know, the kingpins and stuff and wheel bearings, and it just always happens. I got one tire that always goes bad. And he said, yeah, that was it. So they took the blocks all out and everything, and they were trying to mess around with it, and finally they just got tired of it, and they actually, I'll kind of say they bent the axle. They spring it. They put it, they move it and twist it and put it in the right, so it has the right spring to it. So it gives it the right proper. So the camber and the caster and all that stuff set up right. And I got it really close and took it for a test drive. Came back, he said, yeah, it's a lot better. He goes, he said it pulled to the right a lot. And he said it doesn't pull very much anymore, just a little tiny bit, which you want a truck, if it's gonna pull, you want it to pull to the right. So that way if something happens or something like that, you pass out or something, the truck will go to the right, goes to the ditch instead of goes in the oncoming traffic. That's the way it's always been. That's what you're supposed to do. I can't remember if this is 2 left turning lanes up here. I don't think so. But they didn't have time because they close in another hour or so. They didn't have time for the wheel bearing. Well, guys, look where we are at. Time to make it home. I'm actually gonna get to sleep in my bed tonight. Got a lot of work to do, but I will actually get to sleep in my bed. A lot of people, last time I came home and stuff, they were confused about, because they said they'd never see me back in this driveway and stuff. Yes, there is 2 driveways here. And the people that were renting the trailer out, they didn't work out. So I what I actually did is I plan on being here this winter a little more, doing some work and stuff. So I actually gave my parents a year worth of rent, and I'm actually staying in there. So I actually have the trailer. Never there, but I have it.